coming to you live from the U.S. It's Dina, myself, Jables, and Sir, and then Rimshee's from the newly independent California.
Hello,
Let's just take
comrade.
to Discord. Welcome, everybody.
Hello,
all
comrades.
4 or 3 or 2 of you. I can't really see how many people are here.
No one's here yet.
Right now.
Yeah. Every Friday, 4:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Right before the wonderful Late Night Saints. Yeah. I don't know. I'm getting real lazy with these intros lately.
Yeah. Why am I not surprised that you would be lazy?
Oh.
I mean, aside from drinking, can you name any of his other hobbies?
Oh, come on. Magic? I do that.
No, you don't.
He makes intense at comedy, I hear.
Oh, I guess just hurt my feelings.
He likes buying belts.
Hold on, I don't want to reveal that bit yet.
Spoilers, Rimshee.
It's not ready.
Nor's the door.
Yeah, I gotta get it fixed first.
God, we're horrible people.
You're just now realizing
It's about me.
No, it's just a reminder. It's nice to be reminded how horrible you are every now and then.
Yeah.
I fully embrace my degeneracy.
Embrace, yes. Remember, not always.
Remembering your degeneracy keeps you humble.
So, are we going to bullshit around, or are we just going to get straight into the articles?
This weekend we have the town hall in the Legacy Saints. So yeah, there's that.
Which will probably last about 5 minutes.
Yeah, how it usually has, unless someone actually brings something up for once.
Mm-hmm. Not much going on in there.
No.
And the server, aside from like a few like regular people, is basically dead.
Yeah, that's...
We won't go into that.
Yeah.
You are noticed, Mickey.
Yeah.
Alright.
Oh, shit, we got a Russian bot in the chat.
Oh, no. Who the fuck's the Russian bot?
Oh, no. BRNWSH.
Oh, fuck him. Alright, yeah, let's jump into this bullshit that are these articles.
Yeah. So let's talk about my town, Seattle, being dick.
You don't say.
West Coast. I'm so shocked that the West Coast contains dicks.
I know. I thought everybody here were pussies. Alright.
Look, keep the cheap shots
Seattle
coming.
tows cars. Seattle tows
gotta do the fucking...
Seattle tows
No, you
cars
can't
of a
start.
dozen residents sheltering in homes. Fuck. I'm gonna quit.
You gotta pay for that door repair somehow.
Yeah. We don't make any money off this one.
You're not
We're
wrong.
not relevant.
Yeah. With Washington State under a stay-at-home order, why did the city of Seattle tow the cars of a dozen residents? I received a text from one of our coworkers who lives in West Seattle saying the neighborhood was in a complete uproar. There were reports through the neighborhood grapevine that a number of cars had been towed along Southwest Avalon Way. That's where the city has been installing a new protected bike lane and transit-only lanes over the last year. This
Oh,
construction
that's
project is still
why.
going despite the nearly statewide ban on construction. Yeah. The cars
Yeah.
were towed to make room for workers, and West Seattle residents were incensed. Why was the city impounding and towing cars when parking is now free and time limits are not being enforced and people are doing the right thing by sheltering in their homes? That was the overarching feeling from neighbors.
Because cyclists are cocksuckers, that's why.
Yeah. The city is required to give 72 hours notice for temporary no parking actions like this. And that actually happened in this case. The city put up those small sandwich board signs along the parked cars and only started towing after the time had expired. But here's the problem. Most of the car owners had parked and stayed in their homes. They were not out and about to see the signs had been put up, and no other notice was given. The first any of them had heard about the no parking warning was after their cars towed. City says 12 cars in total were towed. The West Seattle blog reported the towing fees were over $200. City will reimburse the fines of those who already paid to get their cars back. Those that couldn't pay will have their cars returned to the neighborhood at no cost. That's good. Okay, so they've made good about it. This project will continue on Monday, and everyone should know about the parking restrictions there by now. That will be in effect Avalon Way next week. Blah. Yep. Okay, well, at least the city's not charging them. It was a dick move
Oh, total dick move.
in the first place. But I don't know, they kind of made it right.
It's like, well, we put up a sign. What do you expect?
I've been in my home like the government told me to do, because I'm a good little citizen and I listen to the government.
You've got fucking windows. You ain't got an excuse.
Just because you're inside doesn't mean you can't look outside.
You didn't say you couldn't be by the windows?
No, parking is garbage here in Seattle, so these people might have been parked like around the block.
No.
I know
Oh,
how
Where
that
they're having
works.
to park now.
Huh?
I said, I wonder where they're having to park now.
I don't
2
know.
blocks away from their home?
Maybe.
Maybe.
At least.
Yeah.
And again, this all came about to put in a fucking bike lane.
And bus only lanes. Bus only lanes I'm okay with, relatively. Ish.
Yeah. That's fine. Fuck the cyclists, though.
So
Mm.
2 lanes are being put in, one for the buses and then a separate one for the bikes.
Probably. It's probably just like a little shoulder strip for bikes.
Yeah.
That's probably nothing worth talking about.
Yeah.
No.
But, I mean, I do want to state, is anyone surprised that the city's going to continue doing what the city wants to do, even when it tells everyone else they can't do the exact same thing?
There's a place in there's like a little like block section in my neighborhood where the trees have just like the roots of the trees have just devastated the concrete for the sidewalk. And the city's solution was just to set up permanent signs that say sidewalk closed. And then turn the bike lane into like a little walking path area so it's not just for bikes.
It's like, great.
Yeah.
Can't be fucked to fix the sidewalk, and now I gotta risk my little old granny getting run down by some Lance Armstrong wannabe motherfucker. Fantastic.
Well, what's even funnier about it is the permanent sign is like off to the side of the sidewalk, and I was walking by and I looked at it, sidewalk closed. And then I look and there's like nothing blocking you from walking along the sidewalk or anything. Like, and I was really hoping a cop would come by or something, try to get me in trouble for walking on the sidewalk when it's closed. Just for the story.
Like, hey, get off that sidewalk.
Why? It's closed.
Walking the street. Yeah,
Yeah.
walking the street like a good citizen.
But don't let me catch you jaywalking, or you're fucked, young man.
No, they don't give a fuck about jaywalking right now. We're good.
No. Do they ever though?
Yes, when it causes an
my sister's
accident.
gotten not necessarily. It was like 2 a.m. and there were no cars on the road. And this cop was just kind of like parked down the street, and my sister got a ticket for jaywalking.
Well, he clearly
Got
has
it.
nothing
When they
better to
can,
do.
when they, let me guess, that was close to the end of the month.
I don't know. This happened
Are
years ago.
we bringing up the quotas thing now?
Probably quotas if it was near the end of the month. That's when they care about their jaywalking.
Yeah, it's less about quotas. It's more about building revenue. I wouldn't
Yeah.
call it a quota.
Mhm.
That's what they mean when they say they don't have quotas.
Yeah, exactly.
But they are encouraged to build revenue. Like that one dude in New York that started taking out all the traffic cams because the yellow light was timed to be too short, so it kind of forced people to get tickets that didn't deserve them.
Mhm.
That's an interesting story. I don't know if you guys ever looked into that.
Sneaky shit.
Oh, of course it's sneaky
He
shit.
got arrested. He got arrested for it, and then his mugshot, he just has a big old smile on his face.
Oh, I
He's
would
like,
too.
all right, this is just going to bring more attention to the issue because he tried bringing it up before, and then later on,
Thanks, Mickey.
like the news interviewed him after he got out, and he was like, "Yeah, I just got done shutting down all these cameras, and they're standing by like a traffic light." He's like, "Yeah, I cut these wires right here. I did the whole road as much as I could on the news."
Hey, everyone. I'm not saying to go do this, but here's a step-by-step guide.
Yeah. He was like, "It's actually really easy to get into these. You just need a screwdriver. You just take the panel off, and you can cut the wires." I've been doing it down this entire road.
Do it one at a time.
Tomorrow. Yeah.
Exposing corruption, one crime spree at a time.
Yeah.
Oh. Let's get to some science. Let's work our way through these.
In space!
Actually, yeah.
Most
Elusive.
of our science is in space. It's where things aren't too fucked up right now.
Yeah. And when they are, it's interesting fucked up, not scary fucked up.
Yeah.
Elusive missing link black hole discovered by Hubble. God damn it. This browser's fucking up.
Mickey gifted a sub to the skull. Thanks,
Yeah, I
Mickey.
said thank you for that. You think I'm just saying thank you to you? God damn it, Jables, you fucking narcissistic bastard.
The Lesser Saints of Discord is funded by viewers like you.
Assuming we ever hit that threshold. Astronomers have long studied supermassive black holes and smaller black holes that form when massive stars implode. But they have searched for intermediate black holes, or intermediate mass black holes for years. Now, thanks to observations by Hubble Space Telescope, astronomers have found their missing link to understand how black holes evolve. They were able to confirm the observation of an intermediate mass black hole known as an IMBH. I feel like that's just a very complicated bowel movement.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Inside a
Movement
dense
in
cluster of stars. So what are you saying? He's got the trots?
Yeah.
The study published this week in Astrophysical Journal Letters. The study published this week in the Astrophysical Journal Letters. That's not a real sentence. The study was published this week.
I call shenanigans.
You know what? We were saying, hey, there might be less because it's a science article. It's still CNN, apparently. It's still CNN. Like, it's not a sentence. That's a Joe Biden sentence right there.
Yeah. Oh, jeez.
Is Joe
Oh,
Biden being an
man.
editor?
Ugh.
The thing.
Only a few
I
other.
got hairy legs.
So you're gonna have to be more specific, Joe. Come on, Tiger, you can do it.
Only a few other possible mid-range black holes have been found before. They're difficult to detect because they're smaller than a supermassive black hole that can be found at the heart of large galaxies. At the same time, they're larger than black holes that form when stars collapse and die. How does that make them hard? How are they harder to find than ones that have just collapsed and died and have already sucked the contents around them up? Like, I'm not getting it. But that's just that thing, whatever.
Don't ask me.
I'm not asking you. I'm just, this is fucking stupid. The nature of these mid-range black holes make them harder to spot because they aren't I should have just kept reading. Because they aren't as active as supermassive black holes. They are also lacking the telltale gravitational pull on objects around them, which can create a detectable X-ray glow. This particular hole is more than 50,000 times the mass of our sun. Intermediate mass black holes are very elusive objects. God damn it, stop being so jerky.
I could go for some jerky right now.
After this article, I may have to close it and reopen all the links.
Oh no.
Too bad we don't have them stored somewhere so I could just click and do shit.
Yeah. Too bad we don't do that every week.
Oh, I know. Intermediate black holes are very elusive objects, and so it is critical to carefully consider and rule out alternative explanations for each candidate. That is what Hubble has allowed us to do for our candidate, said Miss Lin or Mr. Lin, I don't know, principal investigator of the study and research assistant professor at the University of New Hampshire. Hubble was used to follow up on observations previously made by NASA's Chandra X-ray Observatory and the European Space Agency's X-ray Multimeer mission. Both were launched in 1999 and have been providing X-ray observations of space since before 9/11.
Yeah. Cool.
They're Zoomers. These are Zoomer fucking Zoomer satellites. They first detected what?
Nothing. Never mind.
They first detected X-ray flares in 2006 that might signify a black hole, but astronomers couldn't tell based on data if the signal was within our galaxy or outside of it. The signal source was named 3XMM J215.022.4-055108. Who the fuck names shit that way?
Scientists.
When you consider just the sheer amount of objects that they find through observation.
Yeah.
At least get
It's probably more to do with
creative.
the coordinates.
At least get
Yeah.
creative. Fuck. After ruling out its location in our galaxy or the possibility that it was a neutron star, Okay. The condensed remains of a dead star, the astronomers turned to Hubble. Aiming Hubble at towards what they believed to be the source of the X-rays. The space telescope's images revealed the signal was coming from a distant cluster of stars on the edge of another galaxy. This excited the astronomers because it might be the perfect spot for an intermediate mass black hole. Oh, hey, now that I threaten to close the window, it starts moving normal. Fucking technology. To confirm their findings, the astronomers looked back through X-ray data gathered by the X-ray Multimeter mission. In the archives, they found evidence of an X-ray glow from a shredded star, something this black hole likely tore into and ate. This allowed them to estimate its mass and determine it was mid-range. Adding further X-ray observations allowed us to understand the total energy output, said Natalie Webb, study co-author and astrophysicist at the some French university. There's so many things in French that I just don't know how to pronounce because it's dumb. This helps us to understand the type of star that was disturbed by the black hole.
Yeah, I'll take the next one.
Oh. The star cluster that serves as the home of this black hole is likely what's left of a small dwarf galaxy that was disturbed by a larger galaxy it orbits. Now that they have confirmed an intermediate mass black hole, astronomers are on the lookout for the signs of the next one, like a star disrupted by passing too close to the black hole. Most research can help them determine if supermassive black holes evolve and grow from intermediate black holes, if they tend to favor star clusters, and how they grow in the first place. Studying the origins and evolution of the intermediate black holes will finally give an answer to as to how the supermassive black holes that we find in the center of massive galaxies came to exist, Webb said.
So, here's the thing. A lot of you might be wondering, why are we talking so much about black holes? We need to harness this technology to make black holes. We need to harness it for travel reasons, not for death. Maybe death reasons. Maybe time travel reasons. I don't know.
We want to create Romulan-style warp drive.
Speaking of which... Coming to us from ScienceAlert.com, scientists are starting to take warp drive seriously, especially one specific concept. It's hard living in a relativistic universe, where even the nearest stars are so far away and the speed of light is absolute. It is a little wonder why science fiction franchises routinely employ FTL as a plot device. Push a button, press a pedal, and that fancy drive system, whose workings no one can explain, will send us to another location in space-time. However, in recent years, the scientific community has become understandably excited and skeptical about claims that a particular concept, the Alcubierre warp drive, might actually be feasible. This was the subject of a presentation made at this year's American Institute of Aeronautics and Astronautics Propulsion and Energy Forum, which took place from August 19th to 22nd in Indianapolis. Hey, that's my hometown.
What the hell?
This presentation was conducted by Joseph Agnew, an undergraduate engineer and research assistant from the University of Alabama in Huntsville's Propulsion Research Center. As part of a session titled The Future of Nuclear and Breakthrough Propulsion, Agnew shared the results of a study he conducted titled An Examination of Warp Theory and Technology to Determine the State of the Art and Feasibility. As Agnew explained to a packed house, the theory behind a warp propulsion system is relatively simple. Originally proposed by Mexican physicist Miguel Alcubierre in 1994, this concept for an FTL system is viewed by a man as highly theoretical, but possibly valid, solution to the Einstein field equations which describe how space, time, and energy in our universe interact. You heard it here first, guys. Warp drive is going to be invented by Mexico. They'll power it with refried beans.
No, they won't power it with refried beans. They'll power the people with refried beans and then use the result to
people will
power
be
the
propulsion
drive.
system. Propulsion system is people.
I mean, it's not like the Mexican country is not known for mass human sacrifices.
Yeah.
Well, Mexico isn't. It's the culture that came before Mexico that is.
I was talking about the land, Rimshee.
Yeah. That soil is
the
not.
conquistadors didn't do anything wrong.
Of course
soil
not.
Is very, very used to human sacrifice to thrive.
In layman's terms, the Alcubierre drive achieves FTL travel by stretching the fabric of space-time in a wave, causing the space ahead of it to contract while the space behind it expands. In theory, a spacecraft inside this wave would be able to ride this warp bubble and achieve velocities beyond the speed of light. This is what is known as the Alcubierre metric. Interpreted in the context of general relativity, the interior of this warp bubble would constitute the interior reference frame for anything inside it. Inertial reference frame for anything inside of it.
Yeah.
By the same token...
I'm worried about going faster than the speed of light. I'm just really concerned that we might go plaid.
Look, as long as we don't turn into those fucking weird slug things from Voyager, I think we're good.
Oh, God, that episode sucked.
Yeah.
By the same token, such bubbles could appear in a previously flat region of spacetime and exceed the speed of light. Since the ship is not moving through spacetime, but moving spacetime itself, conventional relativistic effects, like time dilation, would not apply. In short, the Alcubierre metric allows for FTL travel without violating the laws of relativity in the conventional sense. As Agnew told Universe Today via email, he was inspired by this concept as early as high school and has been pursuing it ever since.
So, hold on. I just want to get this straight. So, essentially, the ship is relatively stationary, and it just grabs the universe and pulls it?
Essentially. Basically, it warps space-time around it.
So it's gonna grab space by the scrotum and go, "Come here!
Get over here!" Please tell me. Okay. I really hope the first ship with warp drive is called Scorpion.
That would be good. Okay. Quote, I delved into mathematics and science more, and as a result started to become interested in science fiction and advanced theories on a more technical scale. I started watching Star Trek, the original series, and The Next Generation, and noticed how they had predicted or inspired the invention of cell phones, tablets, and other amenities. I thought about some of the other technologies, such as photon torpedoes, phasers, and warp drive, and tried to research both what the Star Trek science and real-world science equivalent had to say about it. I then stumbled across the original paper by Miguel Albuquerque, and after digesting it for a while, I started pursuing other keywords and papers and getting deeper into the theory. While the concept was generally dismissed for being entirely theoretical and highly speculative, it has had a new life breathed into it in recent years. The credit for this goes largely to Harold Sonny White, the Advanced Propulsion Team Lead at the NASA Johnson Space Center Advanced Propulsion Physics Laboratory, aka EagleWorks Laboratory. During the 100-Year Starship Symposium in 2011, White shared some updated calculations of the Albuquerque metric, which were the subject of a presentation titled Warp Field Mechanics 101, and a study of the same name. According to White, Alcubierre's theory was sound but needed some serious testing and development. Since then, he and his colleagues have been doing these very things through the EagleWorks lab. In a similar vein, Agnew has spent much of his academic career researching the theory and the mechanics behind warp mechanics. under the mentorship of Jason Cassabury, an associate professor of mechanical and aerospace engineering and a faculty member of the UAH's Propulsion Research Center. Agnew's work has culminated in a study that addresses the major hurdles and opportunities presented by warp mechanics research. As Agnew related, one of the greatest is the fact that the concept of the warp drive is still not taken very seriously in scientific circles. In my experience, the mention of warp drive tends to bring chuckles to the conversation because it is so theoretical and right out of science fiction. In fact, it is often met with dismissive remarks and used as an example of something totally outlandish, which is understandable. I know in my own case, I initially had groped with it mentally into the same category as typical superluminal concepts, since obviously they all violate the speed of light as the ultimate speed assumption. It wasn't until I dug into the theory more carefully that I realized it did not have these problems. I think there will be much more interest when individuals delve into the progress that has been made. The historically theoretical nature of the idea is also itself a likely deterrent, as it's much more difficult to see substantial progress when you are looking at equations instead of quantitative results.
Do you think they could use this technology for like individual pods and for like just transportation around the Earth? Virtually teleportation?
Just make sure no flies get into it.
Why?
Oh, ew. The movie The Fly?
Oh, no, you're talking about the Voyager shit again?
No! Watch David Cronenberg's version of The Fly if you haven't.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Wait, the one with Goldblum?
Yes.
I haven't seen that since I was like 12 years old.
You watched that at 12? That would have been
My parents are
horrifying to
weird.
me at 12.
I'm not allowed to watch Scooby-Doo, but I can watch The Fly. I don't get it.
My grandfather bought me the original Alien for my 12th birthday and watched it with me. That fucked me up for weeks.
Yeah. Oh, God.
If I wasn't scared of the dark before, I sure as fuck was after that.
Right.
Yeah, couldn't watch wrestling, but I could watch boxing. Like,
this article continues on for a little while. I think we pretty much get the point.
Yep,
yeah.
I don't disagree. Who's taking this next one?
What's the next one?
The Comet.
I think there's some weirdness going on my end. May have to restart this, guys. So, well, not the show,
don't
but
do that.
not the show, but I may have to reopen that specific article because of stupid stuff. Oh yeah, I will have to reopen it. One moment.
Uh-oh.
Good thing we have backups upon backups. Here it is. And we'll close this.
Huh?
And
That's how I'm doing the show.
oh, I think that's what the issue was. It was the fucking Daily Mail was being stupid.
Because the Daily Mail is
surprising.
Alright, I'll go ahead and take this one. Comet 5 times the size of Jupiter is set to light up the night skies in April, and it could be brighter than Venus. Wait, a comet 5 times the size of Jupiter.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Is that still a comet? I think that falls into like asteroid territory.
No, asteroids.
Planet at that point.
The difference between an asteroid and a comet is an asteroid is stationary, a comet is not, for the most part.
Oh, so an asteroid.
Technically, nothing's stationary in space.
Well, relatively stationary. Also, it has an elliptical as opposed to a. I don't.
Oh, you mean it has like a trajectory, like
Yeah.
it's going somewhere. It's not just drifting around.
Yeah.
Like that one that the Japanese keep shooting shit into. Which is fucking hilarious.
It's fantastic, is what it is. All right. But it's going to light up the night sky in April, everyone.
Well, it's April.
Yeah. Atlas, a massive comet 5 times the size of Jupiter and about half the size of the Sun, will appear brighter than Venus from Earth by the end of April. The exact size of the rock.
Wait. It's half the size of our sun? What the fuck?
Wow.
No, this is a planet.
The only reason that you wouldn't call this thing a planet is because you want to be hyperbolic as fuck. If you want to get technical, Pluto, which should still be considered a planet, has an elliptical orbit.
It's a microplanet.
It's a dwarf planet, and it has an elliptical orbit that will sometimes put it as the second farthest, and sometimes as the farthest planet from the sun. If this is the case, then depending on how far away this thing comes to Earth, it's still a fucking planet.
Yeah.
I mean, comets are primarily made of, ices.
Not necessarily. It's a rocky. They can be rocky too, so.
There's, rocky cores, but, the majority of it is ice. That's why they give off those tails when they come in contact with, solar energy. It's because the ices start to evaporate.
Yeah, but technically they could collect those ices on the way out and then on the way back in evaporate them.
Jupiter's so fucking big.
Yeah, Jupiter, if it had continued to grow as a planet, might have started fusion at some point.
Yeah,
Yeah.
No, Jupiter's the largest planet in our solar system. Do you guys understand how big this fucking thing is?
There's just a ball of fucking ice and rock, 5 times its mass, just hurtling through the fucking cosmos.
It's half the size of the sun. Do you guys have any idea how big the sun is?
Is this the giant meteor 2020 people have been hoping for?
I think so.
Fuck, man,
Jesus
fuck
Christ.
creating a crater on Earth, we'd create a crater on this fucking thing. Jesus.
Right?
Yeah,
I mean, how
we're gonna
close
put that
is
up
this-
on.
Go ahead, James.
Hold on. I dropped an image in live show. Rimshee, if you could put that on the screen, I just want to give everybody a really good idea of how big this fucking thing is.
All right, one moment. I gotta do stuff because Jables wants me to.
No, I just want people to understand the gravity of the situation.
The gravity of this. No, it's all good. I'm not at all concerned about anything.
It's not nudies. Kind of looks. Never mind.
All right, one moment. Someone wants to keep reading this while I go into fixing this up.
Oh,
I could pick it up.
yeah. Where were you? Sorry, go ahead.
The Earth by the end of April. So I wasn't even past the. I had just finished the first sentence.
Oh, yeah. So the third.
When it gets towards the inner solar.
No,
system,
the
it
exact
becomes
size of the rocky ice core.
Where? Get off my screen. Get off my screen. Fucking ad.
Dealing with pop-ups? Oh, dealing with ads?
I'm back. I can finish it.
You know, here's one thing that you can do to avoid ads. Brave browser.
It's gone.
I can finish this. I'm good. All right. The exact size of the rocky ice core of the strange comet isn't known, but it is likely only a few miles across. Really? So you're saying that there are only that we would if this thing were to come in contact with Earth, we'd be more likely to create the Earth equivalent of a snow angel as opposed to just be a bug on a windshield. But it has a much the exact size of this rocky ice core of the strange comet isn't known, but likely only a few miles across. But it has a much larger atmosphere. It has an atmosphere. It's so big. It's currently close to Mars's orbit, but is increasing in speed as it makes its way towards the sun, and will make its closest approach to Earth in April. When it gets towards the inner solar system, it will become one of the brightest objects in the night sky and potentially the comet of a generation. Okay.
This is actually pretty cool.
Yeah, this is cool. I want to go watch it because half of me expects it to careen off the course they're expecting and just take out Earth. Like one of those giant planet grave mine things from Dead Space 3, and part of me just wants to see a cool comet.
Give me like a more accurate date, motherfucker. I'm scrolling through the article. They're not giving me accurate dates.
I'm continuing. Since it was first discovered in December, the gaseous envelope surrounding the comet has ballooned in diameter to a staggering 447,387 miles. In contrast, the Sun has a diameter of 865,370 miles. Jupiter's diameter is, 86,881 miles, and Earth is just 7,917 miles. It poses no danger to Earth, as even at its closest point, it will be more than 72 million miles away from our planet, but will be very bright.
Well, of course, it's fucking huge!
It's the size of Odin, motherfucker! This is goddamn Zeus come to hook up with more women.
Yeah, and for like people in the audience, if you're looking on the screen, that image, that really big one, that's Jupiter. It's 5 times bigger than that.
Well, at least we have a chance in Alaska to possibly see it. We miss so much cool stuff just because of where we're at on the globe.
No, when they're saying it's going
you'll
to
be able to see it all over the planet.
Yeah, you may be able to see it during
they're
the
talking
day.
About it's going to be the brightest thing in the night sky, and I think they're including the moon.
It's like there's gonna be no fucking way you can miss this thing.
It does say one of the brightest things. If I'm pretty sure it says one of the brightest things. Yeah, I'm not gonna go searching because it's still being choppy for whatever reason. Anyway, I'm gonna keep reading. Atlas has a tail about the same size as its atmosphere, according to Michael Jaeger from Austria. Okay, I did say that right. Who captured images of the object. According to a report by Space Weather Archives, it isn't unusual for a comet to grow so large as they spew prodigious amounts of gas and dust into space. Comet 17P Holmes partially exploded and, for a while, had an atmosphere even larger than the Sun, according to astronomy website. Or the astronomy website.
So, comets are kind of terrifying.
Yeah.
Just a bit.
Just a little bit.
Oh, and here's like its current position apparently. The Great Comet of 1811 also had a sun-sized coma. Weather Comet Aslet. Atlas. Goddamn dyslexia.
Frankly, I vote that we rename it Aslet.
Yeah, that's one.
That's the next one. Weather Comet Atlas will eventually rival those behemoths of the past remains to be seen. It was discovered by the Asteroid Terrestrial Impact Last Alert System, ATLAS, in Hawaii, and takes its name from the initials of the system. Yeah, it should be ASLIT. That should absolutely be its new name. The last bright comet visible without a telescope in the northern hemisphere was Hale-Bopp in 1997, making this a rare event for astronomers. When it was discovered on December 28, 2019, it was faint and required a telescope. But as it comes closer, it is getting brighter and can now be seen with binoculars.
Wait, what?
What? It can currently be seen with binoculars?
So, yeah.
This isn't
when
good,
it makes its
guys.
pass,
Holy fuck.
Damn.
Oh, jeez.
I just feel like when that thing goes by, it's gonna cause the planet to move a little bit or something. I don't. You know what I mean?
It's 73 million miles away or somewhat. What was it? 72, 73?
Yeah,
72 million miles away. But let's be honest here. 72 million miles is, well, actually, you know, that is pretty far, because Neptune's 30,000 miles out, I think. Oh, that's comparison of the atmospheres. Never mind.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
There's no way that Neptune's only 30,000 miles out.
Yeah, I was that threw me off, and I was like, that makes no sense considering Uranus is 31,000. I was like, nope, I'm wrong here.
Yeah.
But isn't it like, I don't know.
Going
I
underground
wrong,
wouldn't help Skull. It would obliterate the entire planet.
You just wouldn't see it coming.
Yeah.
That's not true if you believe in the flat Earth, sir.
Okay, so the sun is 93.155 million miles away from Earth. And this thing is half the size of the sun.
And it's gonna be closer
in that distance, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck. Yeah, we're gonna feel some effects, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah. Because isn't it like if there's a blast or any kind of energy out in space, it basically acts kind of like a drop of water in a pond. It just kind of, the energy ends up going out. I don't know.
Crab, I'm just going to put a chair out on the lawn and crack open a bottle of good whiskey and just watch it end.
Yeah. Well, apparently, like, Crab's got an idea for what he's going to do.
Yeah, he's going to sacrifice his anal cavity for the rest of the planet.
Yeah. He's going to take one for the team.
Also, Skull, you don't go underground. You would actually have better luck being in a submarine because water's a natural shock absorber. Yeah.
That doesn't help if all the water evaporates, Jables.
I'm just saying you'd have better luck than being underground.
Not if the Earth is flat.
Wait, the flat earthers were right. They're just in the wrong time.
Oh, man. Let's just keep talking shit about flat earthers. It's not like they have anything to say about it.
Yeah, come at me, flat earthers.
Well, they have plenty to say about it. It's just none of it makes sense.
They're probably going, well, if it gets even remotely close, it's just going to zoom over the top of us because we're not brown.
Yeah.
No, the comet is actually God's way of saying, y'all are fucking dumb. And I'm going to start over.
Yeah, I'm 2 months clean from being on a flat Earth server.
To answer your question, Crab, I wouldn't want to be fucked by a god because I have higher standards than that.
Ooh.
Not even
God's
Zeus?
my God.
He'll
Not
get
even
you
Zeus.
pregnant.
Yeah.
We
Okay,
could
so
make
you
Greek
don't wanna
mythology jokes for so long.
You wouldn't want to be fucked by, but would you be willing to fuck a god, sir?
Depends on the god.
Zeus? Because apparently that's who's coming.
Too much facial hair for me.
Yeah, but
He may have shaved
born,
in the millions of years since. Well, not millions.
What about a demigod, Hercules?
I like my gods a little more on the twink side, if you know what I mean.
Ah, Hermes.
Oh.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
That's exactly where I was going with that.
Oh, I think the fact that it's close enough that we can fucking see it with binoculars, I think that's enough. Let's keep going. Let's go on to the next one.
All right.
Which one should we do next? Because we've got like a half hour left. We've been bullshitting about this stuff.
Well, we definitely got to cover that Bloomberg one.
The what?
We definitely got to cover that Bloomberg one before we go.
Oh yeah. Okay. I'll take this one. Now keep in mind.
Yeah, represent your nation state.
Keep in mind, this is an opinion piece, and we're not talking about the politics of it. We're going to be talking about the absolute idiocy of the writer themselves. Why is this scrolled down? Gavin Newsom declares California a nation state in Bloomberg opinion. The state is at odds with the federal government over coronavirus plans and much else. No shit. California this week declared its independence from the federal government's feeble efforts to fight COVID-19, and perhaps from a bit more. The consequences for the fight against the pandemic are almost certainly positive. Wait. Whatever. The implications for the brewing civil war between Trumpism and America's bulging 21st century majority, embodied by California's multi-racial liberal electorate, are less clear. Yeah, we're all cringing too, everyone. Speaking on MSNBC, Governor Gavin Newsom said that he would use the bulk purchasing power of California as a nation state to acquire the hospital supplies that the federal government has failed to provide. If all goes according to plan, Newsom said, California might even export some of those supplies to states in need. Nation state. Export. Why are you putting emphasis on that shit? Like,
yeah.
Oh my fucking god.
Feel free to jump in at any time, sir.
I mean, it's like they do this shit all the fucking time, and like they're not the only one that's guilty of this. Texas is guilty of this shit too.
Yeah, you know,
if we're gonna fucking sustain. No, you're not.
Well, no, at least Texas, when it was set up as a state, was set up as a republic that can leave whenever it wants. Like,
yeah, it's in the California Constitution that you can't leave.
Yeah.
It's like the first fucking major like outbreak of wildfires after you leave, and you're gonna come screaming back for that federal aid that you suck up every fucking year. Not to mention it's like, oh, like you're independent now? Well, Social Security, you don't qualify for that anymore. Welfare, you can't have that anymore.
Federal, at least.
We want to protect the environment, so we don't allow people to do controlled burns, and so we end up with a big forest fire every year.
That destroys the environment.
Yeah.
I can talk shit about California for long times, but let's keep going and see what other bullshit we could find in here. Newsom is accomplishing a few things here. With what can only be a deliberate lack of subtlety, first and foremost, he is trying to relieve the shortage of personal protective equipment, a crisis the White House has proved incapable of remedying. Details are a little fuzzy, but Newsom, according to news reports, has organized multiple suppliers to deliver roughly 200 million masks monthly. Second, Newsom is kicking sand in the face of President Donald Trump after Newsom's previous flattery, the coin of the White House realm, failed to produce results. If Trump can't manage to deliver supplies, there's no point in Newsom continuing the charade. Third, and this may be the most enduring effect, Newsom is sending a powerful message to both political parties. So far, the Republican Party's war on democratic values, institutions, and laws has been a largely one-sided affair, with the GOP assaulting and the Democratic Party defending. The lethal ruling this week by the Supreme Court's Republican bloc, which required Wisconsin's residents to vote in person during a pandemic that shut down polling stations, is a preview of the fall campaign. The GOP intends to restrict vote by mail and other legitimate enfranchisement to suppress turnout amid fears, uncertainty, and disease. At some point, this civil war, by other means, with the goal of enshrining GOP minority rule, will provoke a Democratic counteroffensive. Newsom, leader of the nation's largest state, obviously this is not someone who knows what they're talking about, because California is the third largest state, behind Texas and Alaska.
Mm-hmm.
And
If we divide Alaska in half,
purely
we
by
can make them the
population,
fourth.
Texas still beats California. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, fun fact, Alaska's the size of like a third of this country.
Yeah.
You just don't notice it because it's set off in that weird place on the map.
And contains less people than San Francisco.
Yeah. It's like an Arctic Australia.
Except it didn't start as a penile colony.
Right.
That's debatable. The Russians had it for a while.
Of course. And here's the other thing. Like, if fucking California, like, oh, we're our own independent thing now, it's like, okay, seeing as how you're no longer a state, none of your electoral votes matter, which means you will virtually guarantee that the Democratic Party never wins an election in the United States ever again.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure the rest of the country is
fine. A bad thing.
I'm pretty sure the rest of the country's fine with just placing charges on the San Andreas Fault and letting it float out to sea.
Just let me get out of here first. I'll push the plunger.
I'll save you.
Yeah, I like talking shit about California.
Well, you're California, like Northern California ain't so bad. Southern California, fuck that shit. Get rid of it.
Actually, if you most of Southern California, like the most southern area of California, is pretty bad. Maybe the writer meant by population, nice. But even so, they said the largest state, not the most populous state.
Now, that even then, like, Texas has several of the largest cities in the nation. Like, they might equal, if not exceed, California in population at this point, especially with the mass exodus of people leaving that fucking shithole.
Oh God, you know what? I've been because I can, and I find it kind of funny. I've been going on Zillow and looking at like Bay Area the Bay Area housing market. Especially on the peninsula. There have been like pages of new homes since the quarantine started. Like pages. And they're all still trying to sell their houses for over $1 million.
Yeah.
The market's being flooded with houses, and they're still trying to get as much as they can from it.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Just again, showing just how detached from reality these motherfuckers are.
Yeah.
With this article, all of a sudden, I don't feel so bad that Sarah Palin was one of our governors.
Yeah, it's one of those things. It's like, in perspective, it could have been worse.
Yeah, you could have had
I'm
Gavin Newsom, who is prepping to start a boog, apparently.
I don't know. I'm pretty sure he would have been taken on a bear hunt. He'd be
Yeah.
like, "Oh, that's."
I doubt he would have been taken on a bear hunt, because he would have been like, no, you can't hunt the bears. That's wrong.
Oh, okay. Well, we would take him on a tour of the forest. No, we want you to see it firsthand so you can write up like some really dumb legislation on it. Yeah, come on, let's go
You
to
wanna see
Kodiak Island. It'll be cool. It'll be
Oh,
fun.
no.
Pet a bear.
This is the damnedest thing. Like, he got eaten by wolves out of nowhere. It was really tragic.
Right. Oh, he was observing the wolves from the plane flying over, and he leaned too far. We couldn't catch him in time.
I don't know why he took his
Should have been
seatbelt
wearing
off.
that safety harness.
Right.
He probably
Oh.
thinks bears are totally harmless.
Bears are totally harmless if you shoot them first.
Bears are totally harmless if they're out in the woods and way the fuck away from you.
You know how they were saying that the boog was going to happen in Virginia? That's where it was going to start? And that was back in January. Apparently, April, we've come back around to the boog is going to start in California. So,
Yeah, I grew up out in the middle of nowhere, and I was going to pick up a friend because we were going to hang out and go to a party or something like that. And I drive up to his house, which is way out in the middle of nowhere. You have to know where it is in order to get there. There's no other way to find it. And I pull up and I look at his front porch and I see a bear. And then I just put the car in reverse and I leave and I go to find a place that has cell service. Fuck you. Go to find a place.
That was well timed.
I go to find a place that has cell service, and then I give him a call, and I'm like, "Hey, yeah, there's a bear on your porch. Let me know when it leaves." He's like, "Yeah, I was gonna come out to meet you, but I also saw the bear on the porch."
It's like, that is a furry tank. I want nothing to do with that.
Yeah. Yeah, well, the bears in that area, they aren't that bad. It's just hit or miss if they're in a bad mood or not. If they're in a good mood, they're pretty chill. I need somebody with a pet bear.
I mean, you just basically want to be left alone and go through your garbage if they're in town.
All I
would-
can think of
yeah.
is don't tread on me.
Again,
Right.
this is,
Yeah.
like, in
By the
my
way-
personal opinion, like, this is not happening. Like, there's no way in hell this is actually happening.
Oh no, this is
Yeah.
happening. He declared California a nation state.
Oh my god. I definitely
He
don't
doesn't
feel bad
have
that
the
we had
authority to
Palin.
do that.
No, it's not in the
Wait,
California
wait.
Constitution even. Like it's in the California
Just saying.
Constitution that you can't declare independence without asking permission.
Was California
the-
started by Canadians?
It's literally one of those things. Like, we're independent. It's like, yeah, no, you're not. Please? No.
So, okay, not to sound dumb, but who do they have to ask permission from? Because there are probably certain
Federal
people who would
government.
be like,
Yeah, the
"Oh,
feds.
please,"
It's the feds.
the feds.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it has to be like the House of Representatives and the Senate, and then it has to be approved by the executive branch. So whoever the president
And as I
is.
said, like, if
That's
you are
never
the
happened.
Democratic Party, you are never letting those fuckers go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And if you're the Republican Party, I don't know. That's a toss up actually. Like, do we let them go to let them fall on their face and want to crawl back, or do we
Yeah, but this isn't a game you wanna play with Trump, because Trump will be just like, yeah, go, fine,
Yeah.
They'll
whatever.
be like, and we're gonna build a big, beautiful wall.
Yeah, do we let them
I
fall on
would
their
fund
face, or do
that
we
shit.
just like let it be?
Let Mexico have it. Fuck it.
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of it was theirs to begin with.
Yeah.
And with the amount of them that come over the border there every year, it may as well be theirs.
Honestly, at this point, it seems to me like Mexico has enough of a problem that they need outside intervention. Instead of giving Mexico California, we should make Mexico give us Mexico.
I'd be fine teaming up with Mexico. They got
Yeah.
great food.
Yeah.
Hell,
And the
they
people
can
are
they can
nice.
be like a sub nation or whatever, and it's just like, hey, you're protected under the Constitution. Beyond that, you do your culture thing, whatever.
Like a
It's
really big Puerto Rico.
it's the
Yeah, like a
U.S. south of
territory.
the border.
Oh, it's like US After Dark.
I just love this. Like, a state that's already facing social and financial collapse thinks that they can honestly pull off independence.
Mm-hmm.
They're not trying to pull off independence from right now. Technically, really, what Gavin's doing is trying to what I would guess at least is he's trying to solidify a bid for presidential candidacy, 2024.
Yeah.
Yeah, good luck with that.
To address Crab, giving California back to Mexico might improve Mexico's economy. Yeah, it would. California, the state itself, is like the 10th largest economy in the world.
Yeah, but how much of that do they actually get from fucking the federal government?
Oh no, it's just because of movies and entertainment.
Yeah,
It's just
that's true.
Like
Yeah,
there's so
how's
many
that
rich
working
people.
out for them?
Well, movies are going under. They're locking everyone inside and not letting anyone see theaters. Yeah, I may be able to buy a 5-acre plot of land with a what would currently be $1 million house on it for like $350 in a couple years here in California. I'd just have to put up with the gun laws, but I'd have 5 acres.
Yeah. Oh, jeez.
And so, like, it's just all going to reach a tipping point at some point. Because, like, if you see the state of the social policies and, like, the wealth disparity in fucking California, it's going to go pear-shaped eventually.
Oh, did you see
You know, like, when, like,
see that
places like
article
Los
about
Angeles and San Francisco, like, their idea of dealing with the homeless is just pretending they don't fucking exist.
And literally having a utilities service that is called the Poop Patrol.
Oh.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And well, they bus a lot of them out to somewhere else sometimes.
Yeah. I think they did that
Yeah.
when the Super Bowl ended up in Santa
We're
Clara.
talking about a major metropolitan city in a first world country where there are recorded outbreaks of flesh-eating bacteria.
Yeah, yeah. Isn't typhus coming back?
Oh
Yes.
Yeah, it did.
Yeah, they're getting medieval diseases because there's so many homeless people living in filth.
Yeah.
Right, and it's the rats that are.
Don't call the
Having
homeless
problems too.
children rats.
No, that's not what.
Yeah. Yeah, they're not snitches.
And like their solution is to basically just like shove all of them off into what is basically a glorified ghetto in downtown LA. And it's just like, fuck.
Yeah.
What is going on?
Well, what's really going on is that the weather's nice there. It's pretty moderate all year round. It's an easy place to be homeless, especially when the state passed laws that require a warrant for police to enter your tent.
God.
Yeah, there's so much stupid shit going on in California. Like, I'm considering moving out of California as soon as I have the opportunity. But everywhere
you can't do
everywhere I would
you
want to
can't do
move,
legitimate. Damn it!
everywhere I would want to move out of California to is being inundated with Californians.
Yeah, that's what happened to Austin, Texas. Yes.
Yeah, that's
Well,
because even the fucking Californians are starting to become aware of the fact that California in and of itself is not sustainable.
Well, the biggest issue
Yeah.
that I see is they move to other places and vote for the same legislation.
Yeah, it's like,
They
all
moved to
that
other
shit
places because
that
they
fucking destroyed California. Let's implement that shit elsewhere.
they moved to other places because they liked how it was there. And they thought it was really nice, and then they moved there, and then they vote for the same shit that made California the way it was.
Oh,
Stop.
yeah.
Get help.
You don't fucking
Stop.
learn, man.
Get some help.
Jeez.
Yeah, shit happened in Washington too. Microsoft moved here. A bunch of California people moved here. Seattle got really, really big. Californians fuck shit up.
Yeah, they're moving to Montana. Although that one's kind of funny because they'll live there for like a year or two, and then after their first or second winter, they're like, "Fuck this shit."
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Yeah, that happened. That's happened in Eastern Washington. Like, there was some business booming there, and people from California were moving to like the Spokane area. In the winter, it gets like -20, -40. And they just give up. Not to mention like 6 feet of snow overnight. That's pretty regular.
Oh, guess what? This writer doubles down on the California is the nation's largest state. It's California, like its 49 smaller siblings.
Who is this elitist cocksucker?
I don't know.
Was populous, sure. But no, does New York even have
Francis
more people
Wilkinson.
than California?
Whoever Francis Wilkinson is, you're fucking dumb.
Okay, I'm about
no,
to figure this shit out right now.
Yeah, no, it probably is.
Probably a Californian, let's be honest.
Yeah.
State,
No, California is probably the most populous because it has like 3 really major cities. I mean, most populous state, sorry, because it has 3 major cities.
Francis Wilkinson writes editorials on politics and U.S. domestic
they do
policy.
have the largest population.
Yeah.
Population estimate as of July 1st, 2019 is close to 39.5 million people.
Yeah, but that's going down pretty damn quick right now.
Yeah, and let's not forget, LA has more people than the entire continent, technically, of Australia.
Actually, technically, New York is only 4th place. They're beaten out by Florida and Texas.
Yeah, but Florida's full of a bunch of people from New York retiring, so...
Yeah.
Yeah, they're moving because they like the area better because of prices and the ability to work there. And then they vote for the exact same shit that put California in this position. Also, Gavin Newsom is a fucking idiot, and this is This got way more into politics than I was hoping it would. Thanks, Jables.
No, it's
Nah,
fine. We're good.
I feel like it's all right. Like if the subject of said politics is absolute fucking lunacy.
Yeah, like Gavin Newsom.
Yeah.
I mean, seriously, this guy, the author of this used to be a writer for the Rolling Stones.
Oh,
All right, so let's
Let's
just
move
on
on.
and talk about what the Louisiana police had to apologize for.
Who's taking this one?
I'll take it. Yeah,
All right.
I want this. Louisiana police apologized for using siren from The Purge to signal coronavirus curfew. That's right, folks. Police officials in a Louisiana town are apologizing to residents after they alerted them to their coronavirus-related curfew with the sound from a fictional dystopian nightmare. Nightmare is debatable. Crowley police.
It seems like the reality. It seems like we're getting closer and closer to that reality right now. Honestly.
Yeah. Crowley police officers rode around Acadia Parish last week blaring a siren used in the movie franchise The Purge to alert residents to their 9 p.m. curfew, ABC affiliate KATC reported. If I remember correctly, that siren is just your standard emergency siren.
right.
Well, let's
It'd be
In the
great
film
if,
series,
it'd be great if in response to that you just like hear every house on the block start blasting Fortunate Son.
Yeah. In the film series, the U.S. government sets up a holiday where all crimes, including murder and assault, are legal for 12 hours, and the event begins with the distinct siren sound.
Yeah, it's not exactly. It's not exactly that that typical siren. It's like that siren, and then it just cuts off halfway through, and then starts over.
Yeah, it's.
Mm.
Yeah,
your standard emergency siren is a sine wave.
it's.
This is like it cuts off at the top,
Yeah.
and then starts at 0. Cuts off at the top, starts at 0.
Okay, yeah. It's not that. No, sorry, I can't.
Yeah, it's not a raid siren. It's it's like it hits the high point of the raid siren, and then before coming back down, cuts off, and then just starts from point 0.
Mm-hmm. Parish residents immediately filed complaints about the warning sound, according to KATC. How many people in... well, it is a popular movie series. Never mind. I knew they had a curfew, but no one was expecting to hear that siren. Ty Abshire told the station. Crowley Police Chief Jimmy Brozard said he didn't want to use a regular police siren to alert residents to the curfew, and another officer pointed him to an old military siren, which happened to be the same one used in The Purge. I think he did that on purpose.
I hope that guy knew exactly what he was doing, but is able to sit there and be like, I never saw the movie. I didn't realize it was the same siren.
I had no idea.
I
Wait,
think
By the way, Cops
I'm gonna
Meeting
go
is
watch
one
it
of the
now.
funniest things I've seen in a while. That's
No. Then he claims the next morning when he's getting dressed down. I had no idea until last night, sir. That's why I called you. You did? You didn't get the message?
Hey, Crab. Don't just ban him. I want to be famous.
It's an empty fame, Jables.
It's not even an empty famous. It's just sad.
Yeah.
Just like Jables.
Aw.
Yeah, I'm gonna try bungee jumping later, see if that works.
Oh, God. Jesus.
Rimshee gets that reference.
I helped you come up with it.
Yeah. like if I say to Dina, buttered bread.
But I did get that reference too, Jables.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. The first one.
Oh, you know what
Speaking of
random
those-
shit I discovered the other day?
Mm.
Mostly, I didn't know this because I wasn't paying attention, but I'm like, oh yeah, I'm looking at my NRA pocket knife that's a piece of shit. Oh, what's this on the back? 440 China steel. That makes total sense given the NRA.
Mhm.
You know,
American
there was some-
values made in China.
On the subject of this article, you know that it was a mixed reaction from the residents. There had to be some dudes going, really? Right on.
Yeah, I wonder how many started putting on masks and grabbing
shotgun.
shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're all like, now this virus is going to be fun. Where's that bitch that coughed on me earlier today?
No
My-
crap, don't do
my-
that. That's a terrible idea.
Oh. But if Jables started a channel, it probably wouldn't be up very long.
No, it's already been
What are
banned
you talking
twice.
about? What are you talking about?
I
He's-
don't know.
Place has
He's-
been banned from is Twitter.
So far.
That's a lie. I know of the channel you created that got banned twice. In
No,
a week.
No, what are you talking about? What are you talking about?
Jables is a good boy. He doesn't do anything
Yeah.
bad. All these
Awesome.
bans that he's ever gotten, and there's not many, they were unfair. Right, Jables?
Yep. Totally.
So showing
it
your
was-
dick on YouTube is not what got you banned twice.
I never showed my dick on YouTube.
See, he can't even say it with a straight face, and we can't even see his face.
No, it's the wording that's important in that sentence. That's-
Right. What is that? It was chat roulette, wasn't it?
No,
Or
it was
Omegle,
YouTube.
Whatever that is.
it's pretty much everywhere but YouTube.
Oh.
All right.
Boy, I bet that Saint's wedding was real interesting. If what you just said is true.
What are you
It's
talking
my
about?
wedding
It
present.
was a great time.
It was a great time when Jables wasn't around.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
Rimshee, I was with you the entire weekend. What the fuck are you talking about?
Case in point.
Oh. Oh.
Oh, you invited me to your wedding. You just want your wedding to be shitty so you don't have to go through with it, don't you?
No, sorry, Miss Rimshee was asking me a question about food. So I was completely ignoring you.
Very convenient.
Look, she just wanted to know
Very,
whether
very
she just wanted to know if I wanted to cut the lemons or squeeze the lemons.
Ah,
I told her squeeze.
she's got to stop distracting you during the show, dude.
This is where it starts.
This is where.
All
What do you
right.
mean? This is where it starts.
Let's talk about something that Rimshee's gonna say to Miss Rimshee on their wedding night.
No, I'm not
Dana,
gonna
you
say
wanna
this
go?
to her because I want to stay married.
The
Yep,
next
yours.
article?
Go for it, Dina.
Yeah,
Mine?
yep.
Okay, so Ontario teacher's license suspended for 2 months after telling student to lick me where I fart.
Yep.
Oh, God.
Really?
Okay. Yep.
You mean you didn't read ahead this time, sir?
I never read ahead.
Except every
I-
time
you
you
know,
do.
Mhm.
I don't read any of these articles before they come on the show. I just end up reading the articles while you guys are fucking around.
Yeah.
But this
That's
time,
called reading
he
ahead.
was participating in the fucking around, so he didn't get to read ahead. The Dumbville secondary school teacher admitted to everything. Admitted to everything from slapping a student to telling another that it sounds like your ass cheeks are too close together.
What? Who is this fucking troll?
I love her. I love her.
The 16 school year. That poor kid got named Squeaky, you know it.
Oh
Anyway.
my God.
An Ontario teacher who slapped a student and told another to lick me where I fart received a 2-month license suspension on Monday after pleading guilty to professional misconduct for the second time in 2 years.
So this isn't a new thing.
Right. Jennifer Elizabeth Green Johnson admitted to a troubling
Damn,
history
bitch, how
of
many do you need?
12. She's
well,
still
I
collecting
guess
them.
the number to match your waist size.
You don't know that. We only see a bust. It could be way worse than it looks like. It could be way better than it looks like.
It could be exactly what it looks like. Okay, admitted to a troubling history of inappropriate comments at a hearing before an Ontario College of Teachers disciplinary committee. Asked if she was pleading guilty, Green Johnson nodded her head and mouthed guilty. She was forced to repeat herself so that the panel could actually hear her. You know,
Oh, I would love it. I would love it if she was just like, guilty, you deaf fucks.
pull the dick out of your
fucking
ear.
happy now?
Do you really need me to repeat myself?
Yeah, you fucking twat waffles. What the fuck is wrong with you?
I told a kid to lick my fart hole. Are you really gonna make me repeat myself? Like, you got the evidence right there, motherfucker.
Right.
I told another kid that it sounded like his ass cheeks were too close together. Got a problem with that too?
Yeah. Now all the kids named him Squeaky. He deserved it. She will also receive an official reprimand in her file and must take courses on anger management and maintaining boundaries with students. Let's see here. Is it weird that this, whatever this is here, I'd be able to ship for a week because of all that fiber? Just an odd, imagine it's an ad or something. Anyway, it's a serious consequence. Is it from her or just somebody's random quote? Anyway, it's a serious consequence, and because it's a serious consequence, it sends a strong message to the profession.
Yeah, talk inappropriately, you lose your license for 2 months. Make sure it happens over the summer, though, because that way you get time off.
Right.
What kind of teacher was she? Like a college? Oh, secondary.
Secondary
high
school.
Teacher. Yeah,
so
so high school.
6th through 8th.
No, secondary would be high school. There's primary and then secondary.
No.
Or
there's
is it primary, secondary, and then A levels?
And then high school. Oh, you mean up there? Oh, that's a good question. I don't know.
Yeah, because this is Canada.
This is Canada.
I know.
The American mistake.
I know in the UK it's primary and then there's secondary.
And then there's university.
And then like then there's university and like in between like your what would be your senior year is
Yeah.
like A levels.
I mean, despite what Ben says, Alaska is not a Canadian territory. So whatever their school system is, I have
we
no
bought
clue.
that shit fair and square.
Yeah, from the
We bought it
Russians,
for like
damn
$12.
It's not our fault we found tons of gold up there.
it.
And oil.
And oil, yep. We have copper too,
Mm-hmm.
which is like, yeah. Anyway, let's see here. Where was it? Oh, Wadsworth said, suggesting that the penalty would be strong enough to deter or deter Green
To
Johnson.
deter.
Dieter. Yeah, I know. I had a brain fart. I'm allowed. Don't shame me, Crab. Damn it. Anyway,
Too late.
it probably. Green Johnson said, it would be. I know this is ridiculous. It has nothing to do with the article, but I really wish her name was the last name was Blue instead of Green. Mickey would love it. Anyway, and other teachers from engaging in similar behavior in the future. Both Wadsworth and Green Johnson's lawyer warned the committee against a stricter penalty. Green Johnson politely declined to comment when approached by a reporter outside the hearing. That reporter should be happy that it was polite. Because she could have looked at them and go, no, really? You guys can lick me where I fart. Anyway, couldn't go.
You're old enough.
Right. I can tell you're over 18. The dumbbells.
Maybe that's too old for her.
It could be. Okay, I just had something come to mind, and I'm just gonna keep it to my damn self.
Basically, we know that she's a fucking. I don't think we need to continue on this because we know she's a fucking train wreck.
Right. Well, you know what? She should have really thought about her defense in this. She could have claimed to have Tourette's. But then again, when you think about it, kids, a lot of kids are like assholes these days.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not gonna lie. I find that amusing because I can think about some of the kids that I encountered in at parent teacher conferences, where I'm like, yeah, I can kind of relate. I don't know that I would have gone that far with it, but
I mean,
but she should have, or at least she could have claimed PTSD or something. Just
whatever. Look at that bitch's face. Like, she is a fucking moo-moo and a set of sponge rollers away from being a white trash woman in Mississippi.
Oh my God. I just took
I like her. She's great.
Yeah, but we should probably wrap this up.
Yeah. Nick's on the live show right now.
Nick's live right now.
Is he? Oh.
Yep. So
now you see how easy it is to go over.
Yeah.
All right. With that, we've been in Lesser Saints Discord. We're gonna raid right now. Check us back next week. We might start early. We might not. I don't know. I have Fridays off now. Bye.
Yay!
All right. Late.